Imagine this. It's 10,000 years ago. No phones, no Netflix, no fast food, just survival, every single day. You'd think these people had zero time for fun, right? Wrong, dead wrong. Because buried in caves, ancient trash heaps, and fossilized teeth, scientists have found something that's going to blow your mind. Our prehistoric ancestors weren't just hunting mammoths and dodging saber-toothed tigers. They were getting drunk. They were chewing on mind-altering plants. Some of them might have even been smoking something around the fire at night. Yeah, cavemen partied. And by the end of this video, you're going to look at your primitive ancestors in a completely different way. So grab a drink, maybe something they'd recognize, and let's go back in time. Let's start with the obvious one, booze. Now, nobody invented alcohol on purpose. It invented itself. Picture a caveman wandering through the forest, finding a pile of overripe fruit lying on the ground. He's hungry, so he eats it. A few minutes later, he feels weird, light, happy, maybe a little dizzy. What happened is simple chemistry. Wild yeast in the air landed on that fruit, started eating the sugar, and turned it into alcohol. This is called natural fermentation, and it happens without any human help at all. Scientists actually have a theory for this called the drunken monkey hypothesis, the idea that our primate ancestors developed a taste for ripe, slightly fermented fruit. Millions of years before humans even existed, because it gave them an extra calorie boost. And, well, a nice little buzz. So here's where we get creative. Imagine that caveman going back to that same spot, day after day, specifically looking for the good fruit, the squishy, smelly, slightly bubbly stuff everyone else avoided. His friends probably thought he was insane. Why are you eating the rotten ones? Little did they know, he might have been humanity's first wine connoisseur. Eventually, people stopped waiting for nature to do the work. Archaeologists have found pottery jars in China dating back over 9,000 years with chemical residue of rice, honey, and fruit, all fermented together. That's not an accident. That's a recipe. Someone, somewhere, sat down and thought, what if I just made the rotten fruit feeling happen on purpose? And just like that, humanity's longest relationship began. Now let's talk about something stranger, smoke. We know fire was one of the greatest tools early humans ever discovered. It cooked food, scared off predators, and kept people warm. But here's a wild thought. What if sometimes it did something else too? Picture a group of early humans sitting around a fire at night. Someone tosses a handful of dried leaves into the flames, maybe out of curiosity, maybe by accident. The smoke changes. It smells different. People start breathing it in without even meaning to, and suddenly the whole group feels strange, relaxed, talkative, maybe a little sleepy. We can't say for certain that cavemen were intentionally getting high around the campfire, but we do know that certain plants with mild psychoactive properties grew wild across the regions early humans lived in. And we know that humans have a long history of figuring out, through trial and error, which plants make you feel something and which ones just make you sick. Or worse. Here's a fun thought experiment. Imagine the very first person who discovered this. He inhales some strange smoke, feels lightheaded, and immediately calls his friends over. Guys, you have to try this. And just like that, an ancient ritual might have been born, not for medicine, not for survival, but purely because it felt good. Some researchers believe certain plant residues found in ancient pipes and burial sites suggest psychoactive plant use goes back thousands of years, long before written history. Whether it was for spiritual ceremonies, social bonding, or just pure boredom relief on a long, cold night, The pattern is the same one we see today. Humans seeking ways to escape, relax, and feel something different. Now here's something I want you to answer in the comments. If you were a caveman discovering fermented fruit or strange smoke for the first time, would you have tried it? Or would you have been the cautious one in the tribe, watching your friends act weird and thinking, "Yeah, I'm not touching that"? Drop your answer below. I read every single one. Alcohol and smoke weren't the only things early humans experimented with. Let's talk about plants that numbed pain. Life as a caveman was brutal. Broken bones, deep wounds, infections, and zero modern medicine. So imagine the desperation of someone in serious pain, chewing on random roots and bark, just hoping something, anything, would help. Eventually, some of them found plants that actually worked. Certain bitter roots and leaves contain natural compounds that dull pain or create a numbing, almost dreamlike sensation. Over generations, this knowledge would have been passed down. Chew this when it hurts. Boil that bark when you're sick. Trial and error, generation after generation, slowly building humanity's first pharmacy. But here's the twist. Some of those same plants that healed could also be abused. Imagine someone using a pain-relieving root not because they're injured, but just because they liked how it made them feel. Sound familiar? It's a pattern that's repeated itself throughout all of human history, right up to today. So why would people living in such a harsh, dangerous world risk altering their minds at all? Here's a theory: bonding. Sharing a fermented drink, passing smoke around a fire, sitting together feeling a little strange and a little happy, these moments brought people closer. Tribes that bonded stronger survived better. Some anthropologists actually believe that shared intoxication, yes, getting tipsy together, may have helped strengthen social trust between early humans, the same way sharing a drink with friends does today. In other words, your ancestors weren't just surviving. They were already finding ways to enjoy life, take the edge off, and connect with each other. Some things truly never change. So next time you crack open a cold drink, light up around a campfire with friends, or just unwind after a long day, remember, you're not doing anything new. You're repeating a habit that stretches back tens of thousands of years, all the way to caves, campfires, and curious cavemen who just wanted to feel a little different for a while. History isn't just about kings, wars, and inventions. Sometimes it's about a guy eating rotten fruit on the forest floor and accidentally discovering happiness. If this blew your mind even a little, hit subscribe, because next time we're diving into something even crazier: what ancient humans actually believed happened after death. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. See you in the next video.